Hello there, fellow adventurers. This is Sorvesteon coming to you from Riders of Icarus with another taming guide, this time for the Wolf King Lashaka. This cool looking wolf here, who you can find in Parna's coast, specifically in the Swaying Reeds Forest, which, if we take a look at the map, is not too far out of Reedwatch. In fact, it's right here, and I'm not too far from Lashaka right now. However, let's go over Lashaka's location later. What we're interested in is how can we tame this wolf? So the bestiary gives us a few clues. We need reindeers, and apparently the pirates hold the key. And indeed they do. So in order to tame Lashaka, we're going to need a mark, and of course to craft that mark, we're going to need a recipe. Now that recipe drops off of two different bosses in the pirate hideout. The first one is on this island here, right beside this lighthouse. Now you're going to get a quest to come and kill this boss and destroy this lighthouse. So finding this place isn't too difficult. If you're not sure where that is, or you haven't gotten to that point, or you just simply forgot, you can see on the map where I am and where I'm facing. It's this island right here. And the guy you need to kill is Krill. He's right down there. And be prepared for a rather long farm if you're going to farm him for the recipe, because the recipe is a very uncommon drop. And when I say very uncommon, I do mean very uncommon. I went and farmed him for over an hour, I think, just to confirm that the recipe did in fact drop off of him. And I think I had to kill him around 50 times before the recipe dropped. The other boss that drops recipe in Pirate Hideout is this guy here, Chief Mate Keelhaul. And you can find him around all these cannons at the top of the kind of pirate hideout. Anyways, you're going to get a quest to come up and destroy these cannons and to kill him, so he will be very easy for you to locate. He is right here on the map, just below the bottom of this kind of banner. And just like with Krill, the recipe has a very low drop rate off of him as well. So you're going to have to farm him a lot. When I went to farm him, I had to kill him probably in excess of 60 times before he dropped the recipe for me. So this just gives you kind of an idea of how difficult it, or how much time you're going to have to invest in farming the recipe. And it's not only that. I mean, I'm really lucky right now. No one else is farming this guy, but usually there is just like bots in every channel, and they just kill them, both him and Krill, as soon as they spawn. And you just, like, you don't have a chance to even get a hit in. So there is a ton of competition for both Chief Mate Keelhaul and for Krill the Lighthouse Keeper. So probably the only upside of these two bosses being farmed so much is that it's just driven the price of this recipe down so much. I mean, you can grab Lashaka's Mark recipe for just 3 gold on the auction house on the Baylas server. I don't know about the other servers. And that's probably just the quicker and less painless route to go. It's just to buy this off the auction house because it's just so cheap. And yeah, and that's what I recommend. It's not worth it to really go out and farm it because of, like, you will make way more than 3 gold in the amount of time that you'll spend trying to farm this recipe off of both Krill the Lighthouse Keeper and Chief Mate Keelhaul. Now, fortunately, the recipe itself only requires stage 1 barter crafting, so once you have the recipe, you can just go ahead and learn it. You can see that it has a little bit of a shopping list in order to craft Lashaka's Mark. We need 2 Ragaton the White and 2 Logash. Now, I already have taken the liberty of grabbing one of those. They need to be sealed. And because they're both elites, that means you're going to need elite seal stones. So we have, since we require 2 of each, we're going to need 4 elite seal stones. I know, it's starting to get a little bit more expensive to capture elites. Alright, so I've already gotten 1 of each sealed, and I've already gone and tamed the other ones that I need. Now, I'm not going to show you how to tame these 2 familiars. I've already made videos on how to tame them, so if you want to know where they are and how you can tame them, you can go check out those other videos that I've already posted. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's seal these guys up. Yes, I want to seal Ragaton the White, and I want to seal Logash. And now that these two have been sealed, I now have all the materials I need. The other thing you're going to need is reindeer meat. So, I have some in my inventory here. It says that it can be found in Parna's coast. Now that's very vague. In fact, it can't be found anywhere in Parna's coast, and it doesn't drop off of every reindeer. Now let me bring up my bestiary for Parna's coast. So there are two different types of reindeer in Parna's coast. There is the coastal reindeer and there is the Parna's reindeer. Now I went and farmed both of these. When I farmed the coastal reindeer, I was able to get the reindeer meat to drop relatively frequently. It may be once every couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes if I was unlucky. It's not that uncommon a drop. However, when I went and farmed the Parna's reindeer, they didn't drop a single reindeer meat, like at all. And I farmed them for at least a good hour, so I think I can say with confidence that they do not drop this item. So when it comes to the location of where you can find these two different reindeer, the Parna's reindeer are located in the Sorma Plain in this area here. And that's the area where you don't want to try farming this meat. The coastal reindeer, well, they're just north of Garrison Fort along the road and about up to here, so around here where I'm circling my mouse. They don't go up any farther than this. And that's probably the best place to farm them. There are some coastal reindeer around the Parna Steppe along this road, and they get attacked by the bears and stuff. There's not too many of them. They're a lot more sparse. So the best place to go farm reindeer meat is just north of Garrison Fort right here. Now, you don't have to go and farm it. You can just buy the stuff. Let's bring up my auction house again, and let's see how much we can buy reindeer meat for. Oh, I love having this Rabini auctioneer. It's so handy. Reindeer meat. Alright, so one thing you should probably be aware of is not to confuse reindeer meat with succulent reindeer meat. Reindeer meat, which is found in Parna's coast that drops off the coastal reindeer, is the item you need. The succulent reindeer meat is an item for taming Chakai in the Hakanas Highlands. So we're obviously going to have to go up a little bit more because the succulent reindeer meat is much cheaper than the reindeer meat. So the cheapest it's on the auction house is 50 silver each. And let's just keep going. But more commonly, you're going to find it for about 1.5 gold. Yeah, 1.5 to 2 gold is what it's going for, it seems, in the larger quantities. So if you're going to be taming a lot of Lashakas, because it is you need 5 of them for to craft the mark to tame Phantom. So if you're going to be taming a lot of Lashakas and you're going to be making a lot of marks, well, then you're probably going to need a much larger quantity of reindeer meat. We do, in fact, need 5 for every mark that we try and craft. Alright, so now that I've gone over that, let's go and let's just craft ourselves a Lashaka mark and pray that we get more than one. 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 No, only one. It was my chanting that that made sure I only got one. I knew it. Alright, so now that we've got Lashaka's mark, we can go and tame Lashaka. Now, Lashaka itself is very conveniently located just outside of Reedwatch. Here, let me open up my map. So here's Reedwatch, and Lashaka can be found right here in the Swaying Reeds Forest. If you go by your mini-map, or... Here, let me open up the bestiary. or the Swaying Reeds Fields if you go by the bestiary. I don't know why the names are different, but basically it's just outside of Reedwatch, and if you see this windmill tower, you know you're in the right place. In fact, you're going to get some quests to come and kill some wolves around here, and that should bring you right to the back of the Swaying Reeds Forest, to these rock steps, and you can see right here is Lashaka. Now, as you can see, Lashaka itself is flanked by 2 savage blue wolves. So if you try and tame Lashaka where it is right now, there's a very high chance that it will run into either of these savage blue wolves, and you'll, have 2 wolves, attacking you while you're trying to tame Lashaka itself. So what I recommend is that you actually come over to the back of this rock. You don't have to get rid of those 2 wolves. You can if you want to, although it's not particularly necessary. Just come over to the back of this rock and then just pull Lashaka back here. Now, Lashaka itself is a level 27 elite, so if you are lower level, you should whittle down its health. But considering I'm level 31, that's not really an issue, so we're just going to go ahead and jump on Lashaka. And see, we are nowhere near those 2 other wolves, so... And this seems to be going very well. Haha, we fell off the rock. Come on, perfect aim. Oh, no, we got some red. But it didn't matter. And there we go, Lashaka has been tamed. Alright, so let's just take a quick look at the stats and the skills that Lashaka has, as well as what happens when we seal Lashaka up. So stats are okay. It's an attack type. Gets the bitter cold resistance. It gets a buff to increase physical crit rate. Gets a passive to increase health. And it gets an attack, which... Well, I'm not sure if those numbers increase or not, but it would make sense that they would. And if we go and we try to seal Lashaka up, so I'm not actually going to seal Lashaka, but Lashaka gives health and physical crit rate. And that is how you tame Lashaka, the Wolf King in Parna's Coast. This has been Sorvesteon. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel for more taming guides for Riders of Icarus. Until next time, fellow adventurers, take care and have fun.